Hi, TC Doyle again, reporting for InPartner. You're listening to another edition of Lessons from the Edge. Today, we're going to be talking big company. We've talked a lot of startups, but let's talk to Vertiv. Vertiv, if you don't know, launched in 2016, but it has a rich, deep history dating back decades. Um, as a standalone company, its mission is to support the designing, building, and servicing of mission critical technologies for corporations located throughout the world. Think power, big power, management, monitoring, backup, and more. And we've just the right fellow to walk us through some of the things that they're doing in PRM. It's Martin Coulthard. He's the Senior Global Director of Demand Generation. Martin, thank you so much for the time today.
Yeah, thank you, TC. Thank you. Great to be here.
Well, it's good. We've been chatting a lot about Ted Lasso, football, and other things, but let's get down to business. For those that don't know your role, tell us about what you do for the organization and how long you've been there.
Yeah, sure. Well, I've been around in the organization since 2003. So I've seen the evolution of the company through many mergers, acquisitions, and now becoming Vertiv, which you have well described. So my role is actually as head of a global center of expertise for digital customer experience. But today, my capacity is talking about PRM, the PRM project we did with our vendor InPartner, where I was the global business owner working hand in hand with my IT colleague.
How were you guys approaching partner management? What kind of tools were you using? What kind of processes? Walk us through that.
Oh, that's probably some dirty laundry to air how we were managing the technology infrastructure. So it's night and day to what we have now. When my boss arrived on the scene several years ago, that was the first question he asked. Where is our PRM system? And there were some embarrassed looks around the organization. So that has been our mission over the last 12, 18 months. So really, how do we support our partner network in all world regions served by Vertiv?
So talk us through, the selection of a partner implementation. Was that a smooth process? Were there hiccups along the way? What advice would you give to fellow practitioners?
We are a challenger in the channel, so we had to do something different in order to attract new partners to the partner program away from established competitors. So we set about the ambition of installing a completely new PRM ecosystem within 30 weeks across 5 regions in 17 languages. So in order to do that, we first had to choose the right technology and the right partner. And that's when we, through the RFP exercise, through talking with InPartner at many industry events, we decided upon the InPartner PRM system. So then the planning was very close collaboration between myself as the business owner, the Vertiv's global IT lead, my partner in crime here, and our, as I nearly said, our colleagues at InPartner. It certainly felt like there were colleagues all on the same team in order to develop a global template for this deployment, where we set about 80% of the template should be global to enable a very speedy, rapid deployment across all of the 5 regions. So with that in mind, the secrets to success that we had were the very tight and close collaboration between all of the parties, preparing the global template before we actually started the project. And then once the project was underway, it was a fanatical obsession with actual project delivery, because no one at Vertiv, and I think even some at InPartner, questioned our sanity of how are we going to deploy a whole PRM ecosystem of this scale at this sort of speed that had never been done before. So we set about that with great vigor, and making sure that many of the early deliverables were met impeccably, and then it was the project sponsorship on top of that. Really having that the confidence and the validation from our executive sponsors and the C-suite, once they saw that we were delivering on the promises and we were rapid deployment, then they got very excited, and it's just bred the continued success of the project.
Very good. Okay, so then let's talk about some of the benefits that you're getting. Talk us about some of the modules and some of the key capabilities that you now have, and then we'll get some proof points and other tangible real world benefits that you can point to.
Yeah, sure. Perhaps the number one benefit was the most simplest technology enabler of a portal, and that is the member registration and onboarding. Before the InPartner PRM, we had our own custom-made portal. In fact, we had several custom-made portals where to register for a new member, it had to go through many checks and balances. So a new member would take about 3 days to become part of the program. Now with the automation of the registration, then that's now down to 90 seconds. So really simplified the registration process, and through the automation behind the portal, we were also able to really speed up and to get up to a true consumer grade, the onboarding experience. So that just opened up new doors with having the speedy registration and the onboarding, and that united every team, every region across Vertiv into this collective mission to say, hey, this is good. We can do good things together here. So then building upon that, we started to add on many of the other technologies, modules that InPartner offer, together with blending it and complementing with a number of satellite tools that already exist within Vertiv's PRM ecosystem. So we have the one single pane of glass that is offered through the partner portal, and this is the access point where our partner members, the resellers and distributors, can access any of the Vertiv tools, support, and materials that help them to do their job better and interact better and more strongly with Vertiv.
That's fantastic. From 3 days to 90 seconds, you talk
Indeed.
about things you do that really cement the alliance and partnership and the excitement that a partner might have. Hey, this is a vendor. I like them. They're my guys. This is the technology, the platform. And then to wait 3 days, that's got to just be
I know.
stick in the mud.
It was crazy, yeah. And it's bringing that Netflix, that Amazon, that consumer-like experience into a business-to-business world. Even 2 years ago, if we had to wait a day or two to access a business portal, well, it was more acceptable, but no longer now. So we had to undergo this paradigm shift, and have the business case to say we need to make the investment in a specialist tool, with not just a specialist tool, but a specialist tool from a vendor who actually understands the channel.
Very good. We were talking milestones. So, 3 days to 90 seconds is one. The one, though, that people should appreciate every bit as much is you were doing this simultaneously at scale. So the question that jumped out at me was 12,000 partners in a mere 6 months. So not only were you giving that consumer-like experience, you were doing it at massive scale. So walk us through how you hit all those milestones.
Well, yes, you're right. It was a parallel project because all of Vertiv's channel marketing teams had very aggressive recruitment targets to bring new resellers into the program that was developing, maturing globally. So we were bringing in thousands and thousands of new resellers, and quite obviously, do the maths. We could not support the challenges of having 3 days to accept all of those. So this is where the PRM technology really enabled this. So yes, I mean, we were able to scale up to 12,000 partners, I would say quite easily the PRM we found was a very robust enterprise grade technology. So, whether it is for 1,000 partners or 12,000 partners, the experience was the same. So yeah, it was
I love
absolutely
it.
no
Yeah.
problem, to scale.
Well, we love to hear that industrial strength, consumer like experience,
Hmm.
and modules that provide real world benefits. That's a
Hmm.
home run for us, or triple.
Indeed.
Let's add the home run. Uh, let's pick one in particular, deal registration. You guys
Hmm.
blew through some metrics that are astounding, from 500 million to above 800 million in deal
Hmm.
registration. Talk about how important that is to your
Mm.
business and having that capability locked and loaded for your partners.
The principal reason why a reseller goes to a manufacturer's portal is to register a deal. So therefore, with that clear understanding, that gave us the ammunition, the evidence to actually build the design around that core principle. So we really prioritize the deal registration journey front and center into the portal design. So anyone logging into the portal, nice, clear, simple user interface to get to deal registration. And that also gave me the piece of paper to have some very challenging, constructive pushback with many colleagues. Especially on the design of the deal registration form, where possibly in the past we might have had 15, 20, 25 fields, collecting data that, do we really as a manufacturer use all of that data? Well, sometimes it's nice to have, but really understanding that what were the key essential data points that we need to capture in order to accept and approve a deal registration from our reseller, to make it super simple, again, 60 seconds or less for them to
Yeah.
submit a deal registration. And again, we've succeeded. So you were right. We've now, well in excess of $800 million of deal registrations have flowed through our PRM tool since we launched late 2020. So incredible hockey stick of growth. And really that is coming from an unknown baseline, because without PRM, where we were this time last year, if you'd asked that question about how many deal registrations were submitted in the last month across all regions, then there would be a lot of scrabbling around trying to get that data. But now it's a flick of a button. It's all in our Power BI system, all available through Portal Analytics for, how many members have we got, what's their login and adoption, how many deal registrations are flowing through the tool. So that really is the breakthrough. It's that actionable intelligence, so we can actually understand what is happening and why. Not just that we've got 12,000 members and we've $800 million plus of deal registration, but we can actually start to break that down into very tight segments and have well-defined strategies for each of those segments.
Very good. What's next? What capabilities do you want to use and exploit in the future? What do you think is going to be the next big turn of the crank for you guys?
Well, we're keeping our in-partner account manager very happy and our in-partner project manager very busy, by seeking to extend the ecosystem with many more modules available from the in-partner universe. So what we're aiming to do is to make the partner portal the pane of glass, the core of the PRM ecosystem. And as I'm partnering with Vertiv's IT here, then we have the aim of consolidating, rationalizing the number of satellite systems we have, because for every satellite system we have a an API and a challenge with the integration and a different vendor to deal with and a different license subscription. So what we're doing is increasingly looking to see how we can consolidate all of those into one universe with a single vendor. We have a number of exciting developments in 2021 already underway or committed to. Adding on the TCMA, the through channel marketing automation tool. We are looking at, or we have the Google Ads tool on top of that. The partner locator tool will be a game changer, we believe, whereby no longer will Vertiv attempt to maintain a database of 12,000 partner records and try to show those in a find a reseller tool that we custom build. But through simplicity, we will allow the user, the primary user at the reseller, to go into the partner portal to update their company profile that we will then display on the partner locator tool that's visible on Vertiv.com.
We've been chatting with Martin Coulthard. He is the Senior Global Director of Demand Generation at Vertiv. Martin, thank you so much for the time today.
You're very welcome. Pleased to speak with you.
This is TC Doyle for InPartner. You've been listening to another edition of Lessons from the Edge. Thanks for tuning in.